Now let's begin the conversation. We begin with good news emanating from Kogi State, not central Nigeria. The state governor, Ahmed Ododo, has approved 72.500 naira minimum wage for civil servants in the state with immediate effect. Now, during the unveiling of the new minimum wage after signing of the agreement, Governor Ododo also granted tax relief for workers on the approved wage for 1 year. The chairman of the state's minimum wage committee, Elijah Evenemi, said the agreement on the minimum wage is not a victory for any political party, but for the good of the masses. Now let's share the story by TVC News' Michael Elia with you.
Announcing the suspension of all taxation elements attached to the new minimum wage for the next 1 year, Governor Ododo reaffirms his commitment to fair wages and safer working conditions for every worker in the state. The governor reveals that the new minimum wage is set to take immediate effect and emphasizes the vital role of civil servants to the state, pledging to ensure they are well compensated.
He said, how will he explain to his people? We say, how do we move forward? Before you know, he busted into tears. I joined him. That is what we are enjoying today.
On their parts, Chairman of the Minimum Wage Committee, Elijah Evenemi, alongside members of the organized labor, say the new payment structure was not for any vested interest, but for the entire people of the state.
So our journey has been one of dialogue and unwavering commitment to the welfare of Kogi State workers.
It's another testament again that this government is government of labor, because the governor himself is a worker before he ventured into politics. The deputy governor today in the state too is also another labor guru, a state chairman of a union and a treasurer of NLC in the state. So if you look at what is happening today in Kogi State, is a testament that we really have the labor people in charge of governance in Kogi State.
So this year's May Day is people's first, and the governor has considered the plight of Kogi workers. We want to appreciate him. I want to thank God, and may God continue to foster the state and the governor in his administrative style.
Recall that the federal government had recently agreed with labor unions as well as organized private sector on a minimum wage of 70,000 naira following a series of talks. The new minimum wage structure is coming few weeks after Governor Ododo had set up a committee to address workers' demands, many of whom had long sought wage increases to cope with the rising cost of living. Michael Ila, TVC News, Lokoja.
Okay, let's bring the conversation home. BKO. 2 months ago, the Kogi State Governor said that he was once a civil servant and he knows what it takes to work 30 days. Governor Ododo is showing capacity here, isn't it?
He's living up to his promise. You know, he came into government at a time when many of the civil servants, especially local government workers, didn't know anything about full payment of salary. They were being paid by way of percentages.
Wow.
Take 25%, take 30% of your salary. Recall that when President Buhari gave out
to the governors,
bailouts to governors, Kogi got the highest in the country.
Oh, really?
Kogi received 50 billion. It was the highest. Meaning that in terms of refusal to pay workers' salaries regularly, Kogi was #1 in our country. I mean, it's so easy to come to that conclusion. If they needed bailout to clear arrears of salaries, and one state came tops in terms of the money that federal government gave to states as bailout to clear outstanding salary, which means that Kogi came first in the area of non-payment of worker salaries regularly, especially local government workers. So today, those local government workers are receiving 100% of their
salaries. God see the governor.
This new governor. In fact, there is an auntie of mine, the last time I went home, who was telling me that she never believed that before she retired from service, that she would be able to receive
100%. Wow.
It was novel, it was surreal to her that she could get a full salary. So she had given up. And I always say to people in government that when you work for the people, when you meet the people at the point of their needs, you live in their hearts forever.
Sure.
There's no way people will come, they will say all kinds of things about you. But focus on working for the people. Show to the people that you are responsible to them. Because many people come into power, they behave like they are not responsible to anyone. And that's not what we want to see. Anyone who feels he's not responsible to the people will never feel like working for the people. He will continue to behave in spite of the people. So, Governor Ododo has made it clear. I remember after my interview with him, he held my hand after the interview. He said, whatever we do wrong, tell us. At a point, you are criticizing us. We then decided to change because of your criticism. You put us on our toes.
No sugarcoating. Tell us how
he held my hand. He said, just tell us. Wherever we are not doing well, we are misbehaving, tell us. Be free to tell us. Please, he was begging me in the name of God, tell us. If we are derailing, tell us. People are there. You know? So, and I looked at him and I said, this is someone who genuinely wants to succeed.
Who's welcome to critique. Critique me.
He said, just feel free, please. We know you are doing this because you want the progress of your state. It was not about money. You want the progress of your state. Now, whatever we are doing that is not right, free to tell us. And I will tell you, if I see signs that the governor is not doing well or is misbehaving, I will tell him. It's as simple as that. It is one life. We can't fear people and then get to the point that you cannot say the truth. Those who say we do not say the truth, 100 of the truth that we say, they've not got the liver to say it. The risk that we take to do our job, they will never find the courage to take those risks. I will look at them. And it's the same thing with the central government. How many times have we talked about the CBN governor here?
True.
That we are not happy with the value of our currency.
True.
If we think that, we should not criticize the government, are we going to be talking about the CBN governor? Is it not part of the government?
It's part of the government.
Is it not an appointee of the president?
True.
Let every governor, everybody occupying an elective position, work for the people. Look at what he has done. The federal government approved 70,000. He approved 72, saying, I can take it further. Who will not commend that? No matter what your political affiliations are, you know that in your heart, you will admit that Ododo has done the right thing. And not only that, he's done what others have not done. He said, okay, tax holiday for the next 1 year on these wages. Come on, you cannot say this person has not done
is.
And this is just the beginning. Who knows what
other things
steps
that will
he will
still
take
come
as we go on. So he started well as a governor. My prayer is that he will not derail. And if he tries to derail,
We will definitely.
If you read anything that suggests that he has begun to derail, woe betide you if you don't tell me. It's your duty to say,
Sure.
Oga, this person
has reneged on.
So what do? We come here.
We have to
say,
talk
Ododo,
about it.
This is not what you promised. Live up to your name. Work for the people. When you work for the people, you give yourself immortality.
Majid, when you work for the people, you give yourself immortality. Now, looking at what BKO said, even critique me. Feel free to. This is a first. I've not heard a governor who will say, like, be bold to tell me when I'm going wrong. But looking at what he has done, what are your thoughts on that?
You know, beyond the passion with which BKO has spoken about his governor.
True.
I don't know, he's from Kogi State. You might think it's because he's from Kogi, he's trying to defend his brother. No. I was in Kogi last week. I told him when I was going there. And we had a conference of online publishers. And we moved around the states, and I was quite impressed with what the governor has done in just about a year.
In terms of infrastructure.
In terms of infrastructure, and even in agriculture. But with this minimum wage goes directly to the workers. So Kogi is more or less a civil service state, apart from Bajana Cement that is there, which is a private sector owned by Dangote. It's basically a civil service state. But then for a governor, the minimum wage says 70%, 70,000. He's not saying he's paying 70,000. He has gone further to add 2,500 naira. 2,500 naira is quite a lot. So 72,500 naira as minimum wage, and which means for the next 1 year, it is that 72,500 that will hit
deduction
the account, because he has also used the powers of his office to grant a waiver. You know, he got there as an accountant. I mean, he was the
auditor of the local
general
local government.
Of course, so he understands the workings of the civil service. I mean, he knows how to play with numbers. And now, I heard one of the labor leaders who said this is a labor government. This is a government for workers, because the deputy governor too used to be a teacher. And not just a teacher, an activist, a secretary to a labor leader, a secretary of NLC in the state. So it's like a perfect match to work in the interest of the workers and the masses. So congratulations to the people of Kogi.
Yes.
And this is a wake-up call to other states in the federation that will say that we can't even afford to pay 30,000, talk less of 72,500. If Kogi
is not one of the richest.
Yes.
Not one of the richest.
Yes. Well, if you look at the list of those who draw from the federation account, I think Kogi
is one of the lowest.
It's far above 20. Wow. In term, from the likes of Bayelsa and Akwa Ibom, those oil rivers, Lagos, that collect huge amounts.
Chunks.
If you look at the ladder 1 to 36 and the FCT 37, Kogi will be probably from 25 below. It's Ekiti, Yobe that struggles to take between 30 and 36. So it's a wake-up call to other governors that if Kogi can do it...
And he wants to start paying from this October.
Yeah. So if Kogi can do this, it means at least 27 or 30 states in Nigeria should be able to do 70,000 with what the president has even is releasing to states.
In just 30 seconds, reciprocity. Do you think other governors will be able to reciprocate?
They should be able to do that.
They should.
I'm happy that Adamawa State Governor implemented the minimum wage immediately, and then said, okay, local government workers, I'll start doing it in October. So it's not, if they apply themselves to it, if they want to do it, they will do it.
It's just the willingness.
Governor Ododo told me that some of the areas where the resources of the state were leaking, he has been able to plug. He's an accountant, he's an auditor. That's his natural habitat. He went there, blocked some of those loopholes.
Okay.
So some of this money that could have gone into people's
It's been plowed
pockets,
back.
Has been.
use it for the people. So at the end of the day, you will find the money that you need to deliver on your mandate as governor. And that's what we want to see.
Okay.
And our roads,
Yeah.
those bad roads, those bad federal roads, it should not say they are federal roads. See Yamoye road now. People can't use that road. And they are calling me, they say, they tell the people in government, Governor Ododo, get Kogroma and other people.
Go and
fix that Yamoye road. And other terrible roads, Ejiba, all of those places.
Okay.
Don't wait for the federal government.
All right.
Fix those roads so that they will say, yes, as you are doing well in workers' welfare, you are also doing
well in
road
infrastructure.
Especially the ones that connect our state to other states. It's doing well within Lokoja. You can see the Crusher Road and two other major roads have been fixed already. Let's continue to monitor
other things.
Yes. Even his enemies
will have no choice.
Be forced to admit
that
this is a governor with a difference.
Exactly. All right, and let's move straight to our second conversation, shall we?